right, so welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. Happy Halloween, and we're going to do these bats today. So I hope you enjoy this project. It's a fun one, and if you have time and if you want to do this, once it's dry, if you want to flip it over and do the exact same thing on the other side, and then cut it out and put a little string, you could actually make a nice little window ornament, especially for Halloween. So that it almost would look like a sun catcher. So that's another idea for you with this project. So with that, we're going to get going. Let's just take a few deep breaths in, and then we'll release those breaths and look at something that makes you smile. I'm going to look at my bats, and we'll go from there. So first, deep breath in and hold it, and smile and release. So we're just getting in the state of art mode. Second deep breath in and hold it and smile and release. Drop those shoulders down. Sometimes we hold tension here. Third deep breath in and hold it for a second and give yourself a smile. It just feels good, and release. Again, drop those shoulders down. So anytime you feel like you're getting too tight into a line or something, your shoulders probably are going up. So just take a deep breath and drop those down. Okay, so let's get into art mode. Again, we're in there. So I'm going to use a number 3 and a number 6 brush. We have our card drawn for the day. I'm going to flip my camera somehow. There we go. That's pretty small. I'm not sure how to make that bigger. Are you still on board, Troy? No, he's moved on. Okay. Are you able to see that okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so I have 2 containers of water. I have my colors. I have paper towel and a blow dryer. So if you don't have a blow dryer, you have a minute or so to go and roast that up. And with that, I'm going to tip my camera down, put this bat on the table so it's flat. And I'm going to start. So we're going to start right into color. So I have the outline of my bat wings, and I have my bat in the center. I'm going to leave my bat in the center alone. I'm not putting any paint on that right now. I'm just doing the wings. So with clear water, I'm going to paint the wing on the right-hand side. I'm just going to paint the whole wing with clear water. So we don't want it dry. We don't want it to dry too quickly. But we do want enough water for the paint to move when we touch it on. You can look on an angle with the lighting and see if you've missed any spots. So just touch up in those spots. And just trying to stay within the parameter of the wings. And this is where your color combination comes in. So if you want reds and greens, yellows and purples, blues and oranges, whatever color you want to put on your bat, this is where you can choose that. So I have an orange color, so I'm just going to pop in a little bit of orange just at the top of the wing. So because my canvas is wet, that will automatically start to move. So it'll start to blend a little bit. And if some of this paint goes just a touch outside of your line, you can use paper towel and tap that off, or you can leave it because your black outline will pick that up. You'll be able to cover that, so not to stress on it. Remember, this is just a piece of paper. So again, I have orange on the outside at the top of my wing, and I can put in a little bit darker color. Remember, it's going to dry lighter. So if you want it to be fairly dark, add a good dark amount of color. The next color I'm putting on is phthalo blue. So phthalo blue, it's quite a vibrant color, and it might blend a little bit with that orange, but that's okay. I'm happy with that. I don't want dividing lines between them. I want them to start to blend. That's why we got it wet in the first place. So I've just gone down to that first point of the wing. And you can see it's starting to blend just a little bit in there. I think I'd like some bright yellow. So I have a color called azo yellow. I'm not sure what yellow you have, but I'm going to take this bright yellow and run it right down along the body, right down to the bottom. So you see it's just sort of a little bit puddle, a little bit of water sitting there. And I think I'm going to use sap green now. So I'm going to put sap green. Oh, that's a good strong color. Right along the rest of the wing. So I'm covering over all the white. And if it starts to blend, that's okay. And if you're comfortable, if you want to, you can move your wing a little bit, move your bat, and let some of that blend a little bit more. That's up to you. And it looks like I've lost a little bit of my orange up the top. So I'm going to go back into my orange and just add some fresh orange. I've lost some of my yellow. So just from that blending, I'm going to add some more yellow back in. And I'm going to shift over to the other wing. So still leaving this body, I'm going back into clear water. So if you're using water, this is why we have two containers of water, one that's clear and one that's just for cleaning your brushes. Because if we start to add color, if we try to take just plain water and it's got a rinsed off water color in it, it may change the color that you end up with on your canvas. So getting my bat wing wet. Just checking for any dry spots, because that will affect how the paint goes on. And both wings don't have to be identical. You can make them different if you like. I'm going to start with yellow in the center. And I'm bringing in some fun purple way at the end of the wing. And I still like that phthalo blue in there, so I'm going to pop that phthalo blue in. And that's sap green. So I'm going to put that just in the center. You can see it's starting to blend and run a little bit, and that's okay. And so I'm going to mute myself because I want to blow dry this. So this is where once you've got all of your color on, then blow dry, but blow dry from a distance away, not so close that it moves your paint. You want the paint to dry where you've put it. So hold your blow dryer back a little bit, and I'll be back in a moment. All right, I'm back with my bat and it's dry. Hopefully yours is dry as well. Just to give another minute or so, just to be sure that yours is dry. When we start to put the black on, if the black gets picked up by wet colors, it will start to bleed into your wings. And rather than have that happen, we'll just give it another minute. So this is a color chart that I emailed to all of you with the picture. And this color chart may or may not have made sense to you. And I want to go through so that you can start to see how when you blend different colors, you can actually start to make new colors. So some of you received it before and had instructions, but the ones that just received it didn't get instructions with it. So I thought we'd go through and at least do this diagonal line down the center all the way from top to bottom. And that will, then you can start to see how you would blend color. So we'll talk about that before the end of class. This particular picture won't take us a total hour, so we'll have time for that. But hopefully that gave enough time for our our wings to dry. And now I'm going into straight black and I'm going to paint my bat. So just with straight black, and I'm using a number 3 brush. I could use a bigger brush. I could use the 6 brush. If whatever brush you've got that allows you good control of angles to get in and around. And I'm just doing the outline first. And if you have gray instead of black, you can darken your black by adding blue, an indigo blue or aquamarine blue, or you can leave it as a gray. That's entirely up to you. So now I'm painting the head and the body. And again, remember, this is just a piece of paper. Not to get too stressed about it. Sometimes a piece of paper just wants to be a piece of paper. And as I had mentioned also earlier, if you feel that you want to do a sun catcher with this, when you turn it over once it's dry and paint the exact same thing or something similar on the other side, you'll be able to hang it up in your window, be a beautiful sun catcher. So this effect, by dropping paint on and letting it go where it wants to go, or just adding the odd little drop of color here and there, this you can use in a number of different areas. If you were to do a bouquet of flowers, then you could have multicolors in your bouquet. It could make a nice background for a field. So there's lots of different applications for this process of dropping on paint on a wet surface. So this is my bat body. Now I'll just go back through. If it's dried a little bit lighter, I can go back. Let's give another coat of color on top. Just darken it. And believe it or not, we're at half time already, so I'm just going to read our card. So our card says, it is safe to ask for help. It is safe to ask for help. When you fear you can't do it all by yourself, maybe it's a sign you don't have to. When you stop trying to do it all by yourself, help appears. And it is safe to ask for help. So I don't know how many of you are in the same spot of fearing asking for help. There are times when I'm just so stubborn, I think I can do it myself. And I don't know if that's a trait that I got from my mom. It probably is. But when you fear you can't do it all by yourself, maybe it's a sign you don't have to. When you stop trying to do it all by yourself, help appears. So thank you for the person that said stop for that. It's a good reminder that nobody is an island. So all right, now I'm still using my number 3 brush. I'm going back into black. And what I'm doing is just making sure I have black only on the tip of my brush. And with the tip of my brush, I'm going to start to outline my wings. So if my paint, which it has gone outside of the line, this is where I can actually extend my line a little bit and cover that area over. And this is where, if you are painting the outside of your lines, this is where our shoulders go up to our ears. And so it's just a reminder to drop those shoulders down. And so I'm just going from point to point, not trying to do the whole thing all in one brush stroke. And if some of my lines are a little thicker in some spots, that's okay. I just did one side at a time, going over to the other side. And the only issue I have here is I don't want to put my arm in the paint, so I'm actually moving my canvas a little bit. And making a nice little point on the end of each of those arches. And while I've got that black on my brush, I'm going to do those little separations between the wings. So there's only 2 on each wing. And sometimes as an artist, we'll look at our art, we're sitting so close, we're painting it, and we're going, oh my gosh, look at that line, look at those colors didn't go quite straight, or oh my gosh, the wings aren't exact. When you take this picture and set it on a windowsill or a dresser or a table, stand it up and go away for 20 minutes instead of sitting right in front of it as we are right now. When you hold it back and have a look, I think you'll be surprised how beautiful it actually is. The colors, just dropping them in, give a really nice effect. So I'm hoping that you enjoy this one. And this is a good opportunity if you're done that part, just to go ahead and just tidy up some of your edges if you need to just touch up a few things here and there. And so I'm just going to set my bat up. Please remember to sign your art. So I didn't say that, so that's what I needed to do. So what color will I sign this in? I think I'll put this nice green in here. So sign your art. You've invested this time and this energy. So give yourself credit for what you've done. If somebody's coming over and you want to give it as a trick or treat gift, then it will be signed, and that's important too. Thank you very much for taking time with me. Enjoy your week, and I'll see you next week.